Are you thinking about building a privacy screen for your backyard? Well, I am as well, and in this video, I'll show you how I do it on this deck. Let's get right to it. Our first step is to measure for the base. I'm just going to be putting pressure-treated lumber on top of my railing, but I want it to fit between the 4x4s on my railing. With that measurement, I cut it out of a 16-foot section of pressure-treated lumber. It's just a 2x4 that I'm using for the base. With that base cut, I can fit it now in between those 4x4s to make sure that it fits properly. You really want to make sure, since this is your foundation, that it's centered properly on the railing and that it is at the proper length that you desire. Now, I like to clamp these boards in place so that I don't have to worry about it moving around while I'm getting my screws in place, and I just put 2 clamps on, one at the far end and one at the total opposite end. This is enough to hold it in place so that you can get the screws drilled. Speaking of which, I like to pre-drill all of my screw holes. I'm actually staggering the screws along the 2x4. You don't see it as I'm drilling here. The purpose is to ensure that this base is properly secured to the railing, the top railing on this deck, so it won't move and it gives a strong base or foundation to the remainder of the privacy screen. I measured the height of the lattice so that I would know how big to make the vertical supports. In this case, it was 23 3/4 inches. I'm drilling holes at the end of the base so that I can reinforce it with rebar, and like a dummy, I didn't clamp my fence to guide the drill. So you can see the fence was moving, so I decided to get my clamps and do it the right way. I'm really doing this just to ensure that I get a good guide for this drill and ensure that I don't go off the end of the board, so when the rebar goes through, it's in the right spot. Now, you might be wondering why I'm using rebar to reinforce this. We get wicked winds during the summer when the storms come through, and I want to make sure that it has proper reinforcement so it doesn't just fall and rip the top of the railing off of the deck here. So I'm putting 4 separate spots and 4 separate holes for this rebar. Now, to cut the rebar, I decided to bust out the hacksaw and use a little bit of arm strength here. It took longer than this video shows, but I had to do that with every single piece. Once those sections were cut, I basically just dry fit them to ensure that they were going to be the proper height and that they would fit snugly up against the 4x4 as well as the vertical supports that I had cut. So I'm just drilling the vertical support into the base, and this is sandwiching the rebar into the hole that I drilled at the end so that it comes right down along that 4x4 like this. And here's where I started to mess this whole project up. I measured for my center supports, of which I'm putting 3 on here so that I could cut them. I'm using 2x4s for 2 of those center supports for the vertical supports. And I'm using a 4x4 for the middle vertical support because I have a 4x4 in the middle of my railing on the deck. This will just ensure that the rebar on both sides fits perfectly against the other 4x4 underneath the deck railing. I decided to use pocket hole screws to attach my vertical supports to the base, and this set from Craig comes with the jig, with the drill bit, and with the screw bit for the screws that come with it. You just attach the jig to the board and then take your drill bit and drill right into the holes in the end of the jig, and this gives you really nice holes that are easy to access, really just makes it easier to attach the board with the pocket hole screws. Now, remember when I said I started to mess up? Well, here's where I realized that my measurements weren't exactly right, and I didn't have my mic on, so I'll dub this one in for you. I measured everything wrong, and I did, and I had to recut everything, and I didn't show you that part, so... Hey, look, everything magically got fixed. Hey, like I said, my measurements are always right. To get the vertical supports in place, I put my 4x4 post in, I measured for the center between the other 2, and here's where I'm going to put my pocket hole screws in the bottom of the 2x4 that I cut. I just kind of pre-seed them in the holes here. It makes it easier to drill in once you get it in place. Then take the bit that came with that kit from Craig and drill the pocket hole screws all the way down. This truly does provide a very good joint between those 2 boards with good strength. And here's what it looked like when I had all of my vertical supports in place. At the far end of the railing kind of wraps around, so I had to follow the exact same process so I could extend that privacy screen around the corner. I put the base in place, and then I measured the vertical support and screwed that baby in place as well. And now we can measure and cut the top for the privacy screen. So I pre-measured, marked the board, cut the board, and then we took it over to get it fit to make sure that it was the right length. And because I never mess up measurements, it was perfect, right? Yeah. Well, there is one point of caution that I need to toss out here, and that is to make sure that when you attach the top to the vertical supports that you are as square as you can possibly be. I used my speed square in these instances, and I literally just took it and matched it up against the top and the vertical support across the entire deck here, or across the entire privacy screen, to ensure I was as close to square as could be. And when I was done, it was pretty much dead on. With the frame in place, I can now hold the rebar in place, or anchor the rebar in place, and I'm using these routing clamps and 1¼ inch screws. I put 3 below the railing, 1 at the bottom, 1 in the middle, 1 at the top, and I put 2 above at the bottom and the top of the frame. With the frame complete, now we can measure and cut the lattice. So I pre-measured all of my lattice pieces and cut them just like this, clamped them to the frame that we've put in place, and now I'm using 1¼ inch staples to attach the lattice to the frame. I'm putting a staple in any location where the lattice crosses over and where a flat piece of the lattice touches the frame. The goal here is just to ensure that this lattice does not come off and it's anchored appropriately all the way around the entire frame. Now, you could just attach the lattice to one side of the frame, but I decided to do both, and I've got to tell you that I really enjoy the way that this turned out. Rather than leaving exposed 2x4s on the ends and at the top of this privacy screen, I decided to pick up some 1x6 pressure-treated lumber, and I cut the pieces to length so that I could add some trim around the exterior of this screen. I used an outdoor rated adhesive so that I could give a little bit of extra strength to the trim pieces so that they wouldn't buckle or bow. I've just learned on other outdoor projects that if I'm putting trim like this in place, if I don't put the adhesive in, the wood will start to bow and pull away from the surface you've attached it to. I'm just using 1½ inch finishing nails in addition to the adhesive, and this is going to give it some really good strength to hold it down for a long time. Now, when it comes to the trim, honestly, you can do whatever feels good to you. There's a piece that's already driving me nuts, and I just finished this thing, and it's where the 2 lattice pieces intersect. I need to put something to cover that up, or I'm just always gonna stare at that. And the final step is to get the wood treated, and we'll do that another time. I am burnt to a crisp, and I'm going to go inside. And speaking of which, until the next time, keep doing it yourself. It's one of those days where I should have listened to my wife and put my sunblock on. I look like Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob. SpongeBob, me boy, get me aloe vera.